LeSean, why didn't you take Chip's phone calls? He said he...
Man, listen, like, I'm not talking to Chip. You know, we got nothing to talk about. He can't call me. He can't shake my hand. There's nothing he can do with me. You know, he can't say to me. So, I mean, that's simple as that.
Why can't he?
I don't dislike him. I don't have nothing against him. But there's nothing we can talk. There's nothing for us to talk about.
LeSean McCoy going off on Chip Kelly yesterday. Their relationship has been well documented this week. Well, Bills great Thurman Thomas had some interesting comments to McCoy. Here they are. I told him today, I said, you know what? The last time that the Bills and former players were emotionally high was the New England game lost in week 2 this season. And we can't allow ourselves to do that. You can't allow yourself to get caught up in what's going to be happening with the game, especially with the crowd and Chip and all that. You have to go out and keep doing what you've been doing the past 4 or 5 weeks, and you will be fine. Oh, Skip.
Oh, yes.
How do you feel McCoy is handling this?
Stephen A. Smith, wise words from the great Thurman Thomas. You can't get too caught up in the pre-week emotion of what's already going to be an extremely emotional game. I have no idea how LeSean is going to perform back in Philadelphia, but too many times in my career, I have seen teams get too high, too keyed up for a game and not been able to channel that emotion or that anger into performance, where you're trying too hard, you get out of sync, out of whack, nothing seems to click, everybody's on different pages. All of a sudden you get out there, and I thought that was a good example he brought up. I thought Buffalo would really test Tom Brady and company up in Orchard Park in week 2, and you know the rest of that story. They just weren't ready, and maybe they got too high. I don't know exactly what happened emotionally to that football team, but to me, this is a tricky topic because I told you I 1,000% believe in the stance that LeSean took. It was an important stance to take. And the last thing he needed to do this week is to back off that stance. But I also believe that the thing he did not need to do was to expand on that stance or let it be carried through Wednesday into Thursday. At some point, he needed to cut it off and say, this is about us, not me. That was my issue with you when we opened the show today. It's such a unity game. It's such a we game instead of a me game. And it feels like LeSean, thanks probably in part to a head coach that often makes it a me thing certainly when he went back to play the Jets, that it's to the detriment of the team to go in on Monday, as several of his teammates said. And LeSean went to some of the key players on the team. I need you. You got to have my back in this game. Well, that's fine. They love him. He's been their driving force this year, and I hope he is, because I'm rooting for the Bills to win this game on Sunday. But it's to a fault if you're saying, I need you to help me win this game, as opposed to we need to go win this game because we're a 6-6 out of the playoffs wild card possible team. We got to go win this if we're going to have any chance. They can win this game. I think they're a little better than Philadelphia, regardless of what happened in Foxborough last Sunday. So you need to close ranks and make it us instead of I. That's just me. And it comes, I know he was answering questions there, but he let it linger, drag through the week. And you can drag the focus out of your team onto you. Not cool, not healthy, not mentally healthy for a football team.
So you want LeSean McCoy to lie?
No, not lie. You address it on Monday, or maybe even Sunday after the game, but it's better probably Monday, and then just let it go.
I wasn't talking about to the media. No. I'm saying that when he went to his teammates, Skip Bayless, I think what LeSean McCoy was saying is not just don't let me down, like bring it all it all you got, but he's also saying have my back on this, like get me the ball. In other words, he wants to be. This is a moment where he wants to be the reason this team wins. That's fine. He doesn't want you to walk away from this game just with the Buffalo Bills winning. He doesn't want to be this week's version of DeMarco Murray, where I'm running the ball 8 times for 24 yards. Okay, but don't you tell Chan Gailey that? I'm just saying, you're talking to the guys that block for you. All right. You're talking to the receivers that you may want to be patient when they're giving you the football. You're talking to a guy in Tyrod Taylor who's completing nearly 70% of his passes, and you want to make sure he's handing you that football or throwing you those swing passes so you could do your thing. And listen, I'm not defending that part. I'm saying that's what he wants. let's just cut through the chase. He wants to have a big game.
Sure,
okay? Because that's how this rings. It's like, listen, when Deshaun Jackson was let go by the Philadelphia Eagles, who interviewed him? That was me. I was in South Beach, interviewed him at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in South Beach. It was plastered all over ESPN for days, if not weeks. You know, and everywhere else, everybody else was picking it up because of the things that Deshaun Jackson had to say. Why did Deshaun Jackson want to sit down with me? Because rather than just letting him go and letting him go someplace else, not only did Chip Kelly let him go, Chip Kelly and his minions put out stuff about Deshaun Jackson, literally trying to affect his money. You wanted to impede his ability to land someplace else and get paid. So when Deshaun Jackson had an opportunity to go against Philly, what was he talking about that week? He couldn't wait. He was chomping at the bit. People in, we had, Fred Smoots. We had, Ryan Clark. Everybody was sitting there on the show. Deshaun Jackson hyped for this one. Everybody knew that. Why? Because of what happened to him.
Sure.
So my point is that why are we acting like or not treating this with the level of attention it deserves as it pertains to how badly LeSean McCoy wants this? He doesn't just want to win. He wants to be the reason you win. He wants the ball. He wants 200 yards rushing. He wants a few touchdowns. He wants to rub it in because of Chip Kelly.
Okay, do you think he wants to win this game more than anybody in the Bills locker room?
Yes.
Boy, I don't know about that. If you're a competitor, Tyrod Taylor,
listen.
Sammy Watkins, I don't know.
Everybody want to win.
Yeah.
But when it comes to going up against someone you have personal animus for, and by the way, I think we can all tell that LeSean McCoy is lying when he says he has nothing against Chip Kelly, because he clearly does. And that's fine. But the point is that we can all tell it's personal to him. So anybody, I don't care who it is, anytime you have something, look, man, I covered Kobe. Kobe was going up against Orlando, and then after that, Boston in the NBA Finals. And he may have wanted, other than his first title, I don't think Kobe Bryant ever wanted a title more than he wanted it against Boston in 2010. Why? Because he said, I got one more than Shaq. It was personal. You got, anyway, he played against Shaq, because Shaq wasn't on Boston. I'm just telling you.
But in five-man basketball, one superstar can control his fate better.
Of course, but I'm just saying, I'm just speaking about the psyche, what personally motivates you. No matter how great Michael Jordan was, Jordan used to have to manufacture stuff to make you an enemy, but not against the Knicks. Against the Knicks, it was real easy. It was real easy.
What if LeSean goes for 14 carries and 25 yards, but his team wins the game?
He's going to sit there,
happy?
He's going to look at you, and he's going to say, we won the game, I'm happy. But in the back of his mind, he's going to be like, damn, I wish I had a bigger performance.
Wouldn't he rather win and have a poor game than lose and ball out?
Winning's the priority.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Winning's the priority at the end of the day.
Yes.
But he is in a position where he could potentially have it all. They can win, and they could ruin the season for the Eagles, and he could have a big game. All of that is right before his hands right now. And that's how he's looking at it.
I personally hope they win, and he has a big game. That's all I care about.
Me too. We're all on the same page with that one. Really selling this fight. We're like, this fight, excuse me. We're like fight promoters this NFL game. All right, up next, we switch